Square roots. Jordan's repaving the parking lot outside the hospital. For the size of the hospital, he will need to ensure that there are 81 accessible parking spots labeled properly with the international symbol of accessibility. There needs to be an equal amount of accessible parking spots at each of the entrances. Find the square root of 81 to determine the number of accessible parking spots at each entrance. So when we're writing out this problem with a squared root, the square root symbol is this, with any number inside of it. And then to find square roots, we need to look at the number and ask, what number squared equals the number? So let's place a number in our square root symbol for 81. Now, what number times that number equals 81? And we remember that 9 times 9 is equal to 81. So the answer to this is just 9. So there needs to be 9 accessible parking spots at each of the 9 entrances to the hospital. And when we're finding the square root, it is the opposite of finding the square of a number. So now let's go back to another example. So Kelsey is installing automatic doors in all the government buildings in the city. Kelsey will be installing 225 automatic doors with the same amount of doors in each of the buildings. Find the square root of 225 to determine how many government buildings that Kelsey will be installing new doors in. So to do this problem, we can actually bring up the calculator. And on the right-hand side, right here, we will find the square root symbol. So what we do is we put in the number 225, and then we square root it, and it gives us the square root of that number. So the square root of 225 is equal to 15. So Kelsey will be installing 15 doors at each of the buildings.